Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Our patient is a 86A, so that's Outback. I was expecting that this one was the one I talked to the customer that tried to perform the repair and it didn't go well and it needs retracing and stuff. But I opened it as I received it yesterday just to see the damage, but this is not the one. This one has no prior repair attempt. So this is going to be textbook job. Nothing too exciting about this. What is exciting are, well, maybe not exciting, but I have few updates and few reflections on the job market. And yeah, it's not very optimistic, but what are you going to do? But yeah, as far as I haven't been posting lately, you might have, it feels like I haven't posted in like a month, but no, it was just a few days, as opposed to my posting every day. All right, it's no, it's not YouTube burnout. Oh, I could be doing that definitely, but after the Labor weekend, you know, the market just kind of picked up, planning new offers and stuff, and I started applying to the local companies, so either in office or hybrid work in Atlanta area. And since I got a lot of a lot of responses and stuff, I just didn't have time to put into recording. I did have interesting issue a couple days ago on Subaru ECM, but I just had to fix it and be done with it, and that's why I didn't record it. I was contemplating on recording it, but I just didn't have time. If the repair takes half an hour, the repair with recording and stuff, it takes an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, plus encoding, plus uploading and all that stuff, right? Thumbnail, all that good YouTube stuff. So I just didn't have time. But I did land 2 offers from local companies over here. They both gave me the same money, which is pretty much what I asked for. Well, maybe not asked for. I just, what I did, I'm kind of a fan of transparency. So I just told them, like, hey, this is the salary I've been making until now in my previous position. So obviously I would like to at least match that. But it's not a requirement because it may have changed, right? And I need a job, so I'm not. It's not a requirement. It's just my wish list, basically, right? This is the salary I wish. Now I think I undercut myself with that. I'm pretty sure, but that's fine. Because I didn't also account that now I have to drive downtown Atlanta, and it's expensive. I was making that money, but I was remote. My only cost was pretty much the rent and electricity, internet, right? So now effectively I'm taking a pay cut because I have to travel. But let's not focus on that. You know what? A lot of people complain that it's not fair that the company can just announce to you that today was your last day. However, if you want to quit the company, you have to give a 2-week notice. That never really bothered me. I mean, yeah, it sounds unfair. It is inherently unfair. But it didn't bother me because there are ways around it. If you really want to quit the company, you can talk to them. You can just go around the 2-week notice. You can give 2-week notice and take 2-week vacation, right? If you have enough PTO accrued. Although this is probably not the best thing because they have to pay you for the PTO, right? So probably it's better to take the cash, or at least in my case that was the thing. I got more money for the unused PTO than I did in severance. So that never really bothered me, right? Yeah, it's slightly unfair, sure, but I don't know, it's fine. What does bother me is when the company gives you an offer, they expect you to make a decision in like 2 days, 3 days tops. The offer expires in 3 days, right? This is what bothers me because it's kind of like if you reverse that and you apply to the company, you go through the process, and then you give the company, you have to make a decision in 3 days whether you want to hire me or not, right? You're not going to do that, and the company is not going to stand for that because they need to evaluate larger market, right? To find the best suited candidate, which is understandable. But for the same reason, you are on the really disadvantaged position because you don't have that luxury to evaluate all your options. No, the first option that came around, and you have to make a decision right away, pretty much. Now, in my case, I actually didn't know that because I'm not quite used to that. I'm used to those processes actually taking a long time, and sometimes they give you an offer and you start working a few months after you get an offer, right? That's kind of what I'm used to, which is a lot more fair, for sure. And the scope stopped working. So when I received my first offer, actually, even before I received it, the recruiter called me and asked pretty much like we're expecting an offer like later today, right? Because they schedule the call with us and stuff, and that's usually when they present an offer. So his question was, like, if they give you the money you asked for, are you gonna take it? So can we tell them that you will take it? And again, transparency. I told the guy that, well, I have the final interview with the other company tomorrow. So I don't know. I'll keep those two offers because I don't know if the second company is going to give me an offer, but if they do, then I'll just weigh pros and cons and all that stuff because they are very different. I'll tell you a little bit about the differences in a minute, but I will just make an informed decision, right? I'm not gonna make that decision right now. And the guy told me that, hey, the offer is gonna be valid for maybe 3 days and that's it. So you better make a decision. So now, you're kind of stuck with, you take this offer, but after a few days you get a much better offer, right? And you're gonna have some regrets, naturally. And I don't think it should be expected from the candidate not to kind of try to make the best decision for themselves, right? To find the best offer. It's gonna inherently, take an advantage. Like, we'll give you the offer, but you have to decide now. So that is something that really bothered me. But I spent last week kind of researching that subject or listening to professionals in those positions to kind of learn and understand what drives those decisions. Why are those decisions made that way? Inherently not in the best interest of the candidate, and actually slightly violating the code of conduct, the human conduct, just basically taking advantage of the fact that you need the job, you're in need, and we give you an offer, you have to take it or leave it right now. Make your choice. Not great. But the only reason I had an option of choosing one of the two was because literally I had the last interview with one company on Monday and the last interview with the other company on Tuesday, and both offers just kind of came at the same time, so that was just lucky, right? And after, I don't know, a few days ago, I think maybe 2 days ago, and today actually, or was it yesterday, I got another notification from them that some company that I applied to maybe a month ago, I don't know, sent me a letter like, yeah, we're thrilled to inform you that we want to move forward with your application and stuff, right? But it's too late. It's too late. Even if I wanted to, I know there's nothing I can do, because that's the reality now. So not only it's extremely hard to even find a job, but if you want to find a good job, that's nearly impossible. Because once you land one offer, you just kind of have to take it, unless you're in a position where you don't have to take it. And personally, I wanted to even keep that offer for, say, a month, right? Or maybe 2 months. Having that offer, that anytime I can take that offer, gives me, peace of mind, gives me, well, maybe not stability, but at least, I have fallback plan. So now I'm gonna be, taking risks, or maybe apply to positions that I'm underqualified for, or some high-hanging fruit, basically, just to see if I can get that, right? And if I can't, then I'll just fall back to the offer I already got, or one of two offers that I got. But nope, you're not allowed to do that. I'm quite not used to that, because back in my day, and especially in Poland, this was kind of understood by both sides, that the process might take a while, especially if you're hiring a valued person. Because if you're hiring the junior engineer, or some basic positions, right, lower positions that pretty much anyone qualifies, that only has some abilities to code and some knowledge. But if you're hiring the senior engineers, or architects, principal engineers, the those higher positions, they're harder to fill, and it is understandable that it takes a little bit of time, and there's a lot of negotiations and a lot of back and forth. It's normal. That's something that I'm used to, and it's understood by both sides that you want me because of what I can do. Well, I want a job that I will enjoy, the project I will enjoy, and stuff like that, and maybe stability, maybe growth is also a factor, right? So I have some tough decisions to make, right? As well, not only the company that has to make decisions whether they want to hire me. So that was kind of something that I was always used to, and I thought it was understood by both sides, but either this has changed recently due to the history that happened, or it's just how it works in the United States. And maybe it has always been like that, I don't know. But that's definitely not how it worked in Poland in the last 2 decades. Or maybe not the last 2 decades, because it's been quite a few years since I've worked in Poland. So maybe I'm out of touch. And maybe that's how it works everywhere now. A lot of stuff changed. You know, that I left Poland way before the pandemic. The pandemic was not even on the horizon. So a lot of stuff must have changed, I bet. But if that's how it works, well, that's how it works. Nothing we can do about it. So the only reason I had 2 offers to choose from was I got lucky. I got 2 of them at the same time. As far as those 2 offers, or how long did it take me? Because I stopped counting days. My last is 45 on the board, day 45. I think from the moment I got laid off, or from the moment I started looking to the moment I got the first offer, was roughly 62 days. So not too bad. I could have landed an offer within 30 days from Automatic if I didn't blow my interview, or not interview, the assessment, the project. But I just kind of got, I don't know. I was just thinking, no, it's just dumb. I'm putting so much time into this thing that no one's paying me for it, and I don't know. So I just kind of partially self-sabotaged. I didn't really put enough effort to it, and I don't know. So if I did, I probably could have found a job within a month, which would have been success. That would have been awesome success. But I'm happy with 2 months, because I do know that some of you fellas are either still looking, or it took you 10 months, 9 months. But, I understand that it's, I could not imagine looking for a job for 9 months. I don't know what I would have done if that be the case. So I absolutely admire people that are still on this boat and still hanging, still being hopeful, still being proactive. It's amazing. You're doing great. The last few days I was just pretty much just trying to rest, because those 2 months really took a lot out of me. I'm just, I'm getting older, so it's not as easy to me anymore as it used to be. When I was in my 20s. But bottom line, 62 days roughly. Now the 2 offers that I got, one is PHP full stack basically. The company maybe is not very small, but the engineering team is very small, because they've been outsourcing and now they're doing in-house. And it's kind of fun because you get to play with electronics as well. some Raspberry Pi, some ESP32, and also you do you do a little bit of C++, you do a little bit of Java, but primarily it is a PHP position. Unit testing, non-existent. SDLC, non-existent. So it's kind of a free-for-all, which means it also gives you the ability to just, do what you like, right? You want to bring this library in, no problem. You want to, build the separate service for something, and you want to use some obscure framework or something like that, no problem. As long as you make it work, it's all good. So it's basically you just sit at the desk and you get your work done, right? No red tape, like zero red tape. And primarily in PHP, which is kind of a my thing. The second one, completely opposite. The majority is red tape. 90% of test coverage is required for the pull request to even be considered. 95 to 98% is welcome, or is good to have. And it's in Java primarily. The position is senior software engineer. So that's the one I took. Big corporation, huge corporation. The company itself has been around longer than the computers. Of 140 years, something like that. So, two offers that could not be more different from one another. Now, why did I go with the big corporation? It's actually a lot of complex stuff that went into it, and some of it I cannot talk about. Okay, so I'm just gonna. So the bottom line is why that one. I think maybe stability. Stability would be better probably. The growth, and it's better for my career. I don't know. So I'm happy with that decision. I mean, we'll see, because unfortunately, now I have to travel downtown Atlanta. Right. So commute to work is an hour. Commute back from work is an hour. Plus 8 hours at work, or 9, because I don't know, for some reason. In this country, people just want to take lunch breaks, and oftentimes it is kind of required. Although in my last office position, I was working from 7 to 3, and yeah, I got some strange looks and stuff, but no one ever told me anything, right, about that. And I've worked there for nearly 2 years. No one really, no one reprimanded me that, hey, you're leaving too early. No, I don't take lunch breaks. Besides, an hour for lunch? What are we having, a whole pig? Who needs an hour for lunch? Where I come from, we just take a sandwich to work, and we get 15 minutes to eat it. And that's it. Because if someone wants to challenge me on that, like, yeah, you should, or whatever, breaking the day, so yeah, you work 8 hours, but you have to take a lunch break in the middle. Then you're just kind of breaking that 8 hours into two chunks, effectively taking 9 hours out of the day, right? So if you think that is mandatory and you shouldn't fight that, well, why stop there? How about we just do 1 hour on, 1 hour off, right? So you still work 8 hours, but it's spread into 15 hours, right? Would you like to work like that? Technically it's still 8 hours, right? Yeah, you work 1 hour, then you take 1 hour off. Then you work 1 hour and 1 hour off. That's why I have a problem with that. So I don't know in this one if it's gonna be a problem. If I want to work from 7 to 3 or 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, but that's pretty much all I can offer the company. Because I still have to spend 2 hours in transit. I don't know. So in either way, it's not gonna be pleasant going downtown Atlanta. The other, the no red tape company, the free for all, they are much closer to me, like 15-20 minutes, depending on traffic, depending on time of the day, but half an hour tops, right, to get to the office. Well, that takes a lot less, and I also, because they didn't offer any remote days, but I requested that I need at least 2 days in home office, and they seem to be okay with that. So probably I would be working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or maybe Thursday and Friday remote, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the office. So maybe that would have been better, commute wise. Maybe. But I guess we won't find out. But that really bothered me, the inability to make informed decision. It's not even the fact that it's not fair, because as I said, I don't care that the company can fire you and on the spot, and you have to give 2-week notice. Well, so be it. Yeah, it's not fair, but I don't care. But this is actually very much working against you. It's like a system set up for you to fail, or you've been set up to fail. That's what bothers me. But why is it? As I said, I spent some time learning about that process, and apparently the main reason is that the recruiters are evaluated based on the metrics, just like we all, right? And we have smarter metrics or dumber metrics, right? And their metrics are the position becomes available, and now how you have 45 days to fill the position. If you can't fill the position in 45 days, you're ineffective. And that's gonna hit your metrics, and maybe you're gonna be the one looking for a job very soon. So for that reason, if they issue an offer, then they kind of need to get the response from you relatively quickly. Which sucks, but they're kind of in the same position, in the same boat, right? They're trying to fill their metrics just as we try to fill ours, right? So we don't have to look for a job. So yeah, I understand that. And I don't blame the recruiters per se, but I do blame the companies, because at the end of the day, that's their decision, right? They came up with these metrics and stuff. And personally, I think you're not gonna find a really good talent if you kind of have these rules. Like, you have to accept the offer right away, because now you're limiting yourself to people that are kind of more desperate, right? They have to get a job, so they're gonna jump on the first offer they get, which usually was me. Right? I would usually jump on the first offer. Oh, come on. I would usually jump on the first offer I got, just to, just for this nightmare of looking for a job to be over, right? The really valuable people are likely not going to play that game, right? Especially if they already have a job and they're looking for something better, right? But we give them the offer, and well, screw that. I'm gonna look around for another 2 months or 3 months before I make a decision, right? These are people that are valuable, and they value themselves since they see their own value. You're not gonna hire those people. You're only gonna hire the ones that really need the job right now, and they don't care. Or not that they don't care. It's more like, I need a job, and that's it. So, yeah, if I get an offer, I take an offer. Nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing that. I've been doing that for the majority of my career. Just jumping on the first offer I would get. Yeah. So it's not fair. And in addition, because now, since I started watching so many of these videos from recruiters and the job market and stuff, now YouTube recommends more of these to me. So now I'm also learning stuff that I didn't want to know didn't want to know about, which is pipeline rec. Was it called pipeline rec? Basically, the company releases an offer for a position that they do not have intention of filling at the moment. They might, but in the future, but not at the moment. At least not at the moment, perhaps never. And the purpose of that exercise is to collect resumes of people that would be potentially interested. I expect that some of those are just plainly to test the market. So let's release an offer for a senior engineer, and $160,000, then 120, then 80,000, and stuff like that, right? And see how many people applied. And that way you kind of find the lowest number that is still viable to find candidates. Awful practice, I agree, but unfortunately some companies do that. I'm not sure which companies, but again, as I said, I learned a lot more than I wanted to know about this. I wish I didn't know that. And the ghost listings, again, the company is not really ready to hire at the moment, but they released the listing. And then you wonder, why do I get so many rejections? Well, the job perhaps never existed in the first place, and that was the problem. But obviously, you're going to take that as your personal failure and as at least something that you can learn from. So you're gonna look for issues, and the issue was never on your side to begin with. Right, so that's a waste of your time. Not to mention emotional damage that you get from all those rejections and getting your hopes up and stuff. And I've seen some. Yeah, I was in some cases I was like genuinely wondering, like, why could they possibly not want to at least interview me, you know? To at least, I'm not saying why didn't I get the job? Yeah, okay, but to at least interview, like they require like 7 years in some technology, and I have 12 years in that technology, right? They require, some nice to haves that I have, and optionals that I also have, and rich GitHub profile, right? Plenty of experience, plenty of projects, and stuff like that. Why wouldn't they at least want to talk to me, right? And I suspect that this was one of those, dead listings that they never really meant to find anyone. And collecting those resumes, I don't know what exactly would be the reason for that, because if I did go through some of those processes, right, and you did collect my resume, well, if you call me now, well, I already have a job, so I'll probably not switch it after couple weeks or couple months of working there. Well, unless the job turns out to be like really not up my alley, something like that, like perhaps maybe a toxic environment or something like that. It happens. You start a new job and you thought it was something different, and it's something different entirely, and you just quit after a few weeks. It happens. But in general, it's you're unlikely to quit that quickly. That it looks bad on your resume, but also you haven't really built anything with the company, meaning you didn't accrue any PTO. You didn't even make one payment to the 401k. I remember I worked for one company that had a pretty good turnover, and one guy that they hired, the .NET specialist, he wanted to quit after like a few days. And he said, like, I haven't worked here long enough to even put this company on my resume. So I want to quit before I have to put it on the resume. So, yeah, it happens. I have seen that. Personally, I've never been in such situation, because no matter how bad the company is, I'm gonna give it a chance. If I took the offer, I'm gonna at least either try to withstand the bad environment, if it's the problem of bad environment or bad management or something like that, or I'm gonna try to improve it since I'm already there. To say there's some problems with the code or methodology or whatever, I'm gonna spend some time trying to improve that. If that is the problem, then that means I identified the problem. Now let's try to fix it, right? That's my approach. So no, I'm definitely not quitting my current job for a while. And since it's the other reason for that decision was that I obviously talked to the people hiring me, the team leader, the engineering director, some other guy, and we spent some time talking about the company itself. I just asked him straight up, like, what do you think? How is it working there? How long have you worked there? What are the problems? What do you wish was better about the company? What do you not like about it? Like that kind of an honest discussion, or getting some info on the company. And to be honest, from the question that I got, I already formed an conclusion that there might be a little bit of chaos. But considering what they do and the quantity of stuff that they need to process is just staggering. So yeah, it's gonna be a little chaotic. It's gonna be fast-paced environment. There's gonna be issues. It's not gonna be walk in the park for sure. It's gonna be a challenge, but that's why I took it. It's gonna be a challenge. I love challenges. I love facing them, and I obviously love overcoming them. But it's not the reason why I take them, just to overcome them and just to be successful. It's sometimes you gotta measure your abilities empirically, right? Just start doing something or attempt doing something that it's going to be hard, and even fail in it, just so you know where your limits are. And failure can give you a lot more value than the success. That is at least in my experience. I gained a lot more knowledge from my failures than from my successes. But bottom line, I'm glad those 2 months are finally over. I have a health insurance and 401k again. And I got family to feed, so that's kind of imperative. It's not just my wants and desires to have a job. I have to have a job. No way around it. The shop is not doing enough of, or the shop doesn't have enough business for me to actually pay the rent using the shop. Not even half the rent. I mean, I had one good month that paid the majority of the rent, not even full rent, but like the good chunk of the rent. But typically I don't even make half the rent doing this. And no, it's not about the prices. It's there's not enough business. I mean, I could, recently I got this email from Google Ads that $500 credit, right? And I thought, yeah, if this $500 credit, I will definitely take it, and I'll throw some advertisement. But it's 500 credit if you spend 500. So basically, you get a $1,000 product for $500, but you still have to spend 500. And no, that's not for me. Because that's also, once you start advertising aggressively like that, you also have to, put 100% effort into it. And to me, the shop has always been a side gig. But nevertheless, I have actually become a legal entity. I opened an LLC. Before I was just rough, right, doing this and paying taxes on 1099 or whatever eBay gives you. But if you cross the certain threshold, I never crossed that threshold, so I never needed to open an LLC. But finally I did. And the main reason is that now I can business expense. It's kind of an important factor if you sell on eBay. I already explained that, but the short version is, you sell a laptop on which you make $50 and you sell it for $300. You pay a tax on $300, not on $50. So $300 is typically considered your income, even though you had to spend $250 to actually acquire that laptop and fix it. So that was the main reason why I went with an LLC. So I did put some effort nowadays. After almost 2 years of doing this, so I'm at least legitimate. Well, I have always been legitimate, but now I'm actually a company. So we will be able to find me on Better Business Bureau. Hopefully some good reviews, not crappy reviews. But, and I had, because now that I have to drive, I had to get my car into, registered in Georgia, because it was registered in Wyoming. So I had to switch my driver's license to Georgia, to the address I'm at. I always had Georgia license, but under a different address. Now I switched to this address, so I can register the car. But in Georgia, you have to pass emissions to register your car. That was kind of challenging. I'm hoping that it's only the fuel cap, because I have the crappy replacement cap. So I'm thinking it's probably the fuel cap that is giving me issues, but I will figure that out. For now, I managed to finally pass the inspection, pass the emissions test. Then the insurance, to switch the insurance to Georgia, you have to do it over the phone. It's not like you click a few buttons on the on Progressive website. Then I finally could register the car. So it was a lot of stuff, and I had to do it all before Monday, because I'm starting on Monday. Monday, coincidentally, is my birthday. And coincidentally, it's the first day of Sarah Boone's trial. So I got 2 birthday gifts. One is the new job, and the other is Sarah Boone's trial. I've been waiting for that for 4 years now, or almost 5 years. So yeah, that's a good thing. I'm just kind of curious what the trial is gonna be, and it's gonna be televised and everything. So yeah, it should be fun. So yeah, to finish this off, as you understand, I probably won't be posting as often as I did before, being jobless. I don't know how many days I have to travel to the office, and how's that whole commute is going to be. There's a lot of question marks, but I'll keep you guys updated if you're interested. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you. And I shall see you in the next one.